Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our CMA Workshop class. My name is Robert Rodriguez. I will be your Miami trainer today. Alongside myself, we do have Connie Nieto, and she is joining us via the chat. Make sure that you stop by the chat and ask any questions that you may have of our presentation today to Connie, and she will respond. Today, we are recording on our class, and as always, we like to place our classes inside of our YouTube channel. Those of you not familiar with our YouTube channel, we are Miami Trainers inside of YouTube. Simply go to YouTube and search for the Miami Trainers, or go to youtube.com/Miami Trainers, and you may access our channel. If you're not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button to the upper right corner of the channel. That way you are always in touch with our videos, and every time we load a new video into YouTube, you will be notified. Our classes are found inside, and we separate them by playlists, so you can simply look for the CMA Workshop playlist, and you'll see the different the different videos by the different trainers of the team. All right, and then another place that you can find our videos, as always, is inside of Miami Realtors Live. Just go to Miami Realtors Live in a search. You want to search by CMA Workshop, and you will find this video inside of Miami Realtors Live. Let's go ahead and get started. We do have a full class today. We are going to talk about the art of the CMA. We're going to learn how to pull the right comps for any particular property using Matrix. We're also going to learn how to run comps inside of iMapp. And last but not least, the RPR system. We're going to learn how to run CMAs inside of RPR. All right. This is a 1-hour class, and let's go ahead and get started. We are going to access Matrix first. So of course, you're going to log into your Miami dashboard, and you're going to look for CoreLogic Matrix, and you're going to go inside of Matrix. There are many ways that you can run comps inside of Matrix. We're going to run a comp for an active listing. Okay, so I've already picked out an active listing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to the search, and I'm going to show you the listing, and it's 1109 Tangier Street. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put in 1109 Tangier Street, and then click on results, and you'll see here it's a listing in Coral Gables, Florida, and it's listed at $695,000. All right, you're going to see the pictures. You know, we're going to get acclimated to the subject property, see the conditions of the subject property, make sure that when we pick comps, we're picking comps that are similar to our subject property. You'll see that this property is in very nice conditions. It does not have a swimming pool, okay? And it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, actually a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. All right, so you got a bedroom here, you got a bedroom here, and then you have a garage, you have a kitchen, breakfast area, family room, living room, and then a Florida room. I would imagine you can probably use a Florida room as another bedroom. Either way, we're going to use this property as a comp inside of Matrix. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to search RE1, RE2. We're going to look for active listings as well as closed sales within the 6-month time period, so 0 to 180 days. We're going to select single family home for property type and single for type of property, making sure that we only get single family homes as our comparables. For distance, we're going to use a 1/2 mile radius. So right here where it says within, you're going to go ahead and put in within a 1/2 mile radius of the subject property. And then to the right, you're going to put in 1109 Tangier. All right. You put in 1109 Tangier Street. There it is. You're going to select the listing. All right. And now the map has been located right above, or the property has been located in the map right on that center point. If you do not see this map area selected, that means that you do not have a location selected, and you must do this again until you have the map area selected. If you want to see it, click on map, and it's going to show you. Here's the center point, and here are all the comparables in the area. Okay, that's all the comparables in the area. Now, we're going to go back to criteria, And we're going to make sure that we're looking inside of Coral Gables. So we're going to go and put in Coral Gables for the city, just in case there are properties that fall outside of the Coral Gables boundary. And then, of course, you want to put in here bedrooms and bathrooms and square footage. The property itself is about 1,400 square feet, 1,500 square feet. So you're going to go and you're going to do a difference of 20% in living area. So we're going to go ahead and drop it to 1,200 square feet. And then we're going to raise it to 1,800 square feet. So about a 300 square foot difference between living area of the subject property. Okay. Now we're going to try and do a 2-bedroom and see what happens. We're down to 10 matches. All right. So doing a 2-bedroom exact, that brings us down to 10 matches. And then for bathrooms, we're going to put in 2, and that gives us 9 matches. In the event that you put in 2 bedrooms and your results are basically 1 or 0, then you should put in a range. And this is how you put in a range. You go 2 to 3, and that's going to bring you back up to 26 matches. All right, so we're going to leave it at 2 because the subject property is a 2-bedroom and a 2-bathroom, and we do have 9 matches. So at this point, you're going to go ahead and click on results. And you're going to see that you do have 3 sales. You have a property that's sold for $630,000, another one that's sold for $630,000, and then you have a property that's sold for $725,000. You do have several active listings, including the subject property, which you're not going to include. All right, so let's take a look right quick here. You have a 1,385 square foot home, and that sold for $630,000. You also have a 1,347 square foot home that sold for $630,000, and you have a 1,436 square foot home, and that sold for $725,000. The subject property itself is over here, and it's 1,472 square feet, so just about 5,000 square feet, and they are listed at $695,000. You have a 1,344 square foot home here, and they're listed at $639,000. You have a 1,362 square foot home that listed at $675,000, and then you see the others. So what we're going to do before we actually choose our comps is that we're going to look at the 3 sales. So let's click on the first sale, and they sold for $630,000. Take a look at the conditions of the home. All right. So as you can see, the home is not in bad conditions. It was actually in very nice conditions, and it sold for $630,000. Okay. So that's a keeper. We're going to go ahead and click on next. And this is the next home that sold also for $630,000. And once again, you're looking at a very nice condition home. And that's also another keeper. Okay. And then the last sale that you have is this one for $725,000. And here is a home that does have a swimming pool, and it is in very good conditions as well. Okay. And that sold for $725,000. So we're going to go back and select your single family home, the display, to get back to your results. And I'm going to select all 3 of my sold comps. In the event that you don't have enough sold comps, then again, go back to criteria and you want to stretch your date range going back 1 year. So you would do 0 to 365 days. Now, there is a property here for sale at $1,275,000. You're going to open this up, and you're going to see that pretty much this property does not compare because it has a swimming pool and it just seems larger. All right, and it just wouldn't be fair selecting that property as an active listing. Okay. We do have over here 1210 Genoa Street. That's $839,000. Take a look at the property. Okay. And here we have, typical old Spanish Coral Gables home. All right. And we are going to select this one as a comp. Okay. So let's go back over here, and you want to select. So as you guys can see, what I'm doing is I'm looking through the comparables and carefully choosing the right comps for my presentation, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and click on this one that is listed at $799,000. And once again, very nice conditions. Folks, what I'm looking for is a property that just isn't a comparable, right? If I find a property that I cannot choose as a comp because it's in very bad conditions or is an extreme beautifully renovated home, then I may not be able to choose it. That is why I didn't choose the 1,275,000. I just think that's a stretch. They're asking for way too much in this area. And then I do have over here the subject property, and I'm gonna go ahead and choose one more active listing, which is this one, which is coming in at $675,000. And once again, you know, nice conditions and typical for your home in Coral Gables. So let's choose this one at 675. You want to choose between 3 and 5 listings as your comps. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose 3 active listings, and I'm going to choose 3 sold listings. Remember back to matrix classes that you can always refine your results by selecting refine and then click on narrow. That's going to eliminate the other results, okay? So once again, select the results you want to use, click on refine and then narrow. And now you're looking at only the results that you're going to use for your comp analysis. So let's go back to action and let's discuss the several ways that you can see a comp analysis for this property. Number one, and the easiest, is click on print, not CMA, but print. All right. And then once you click on print, you're going to look for the CMA one-line summary report and your 3-up comparison. Now in Matrix 301, we do go over the full CMA report inside of Matrix. I will go over it now as well. But I am showing you the quickest way to get a comp analysis for this property is by selecting print and then selecting CMA one-line summary report plus your 3-up comparison. And then we're gonna select print to PDF. However, you can always email this PDF to a customer by selecting email PDF. So let's click on print to PDF. Here we have our active listings, we have our sold listings, and we have our side-by-side comparisons, okay? It's a very nice report. You're gonna see right here that the list price average is $771,000, okay? Remember, our active listing is coming in at $695,000, so it is listed below the average for the market. That is a something that the listing agent decided to do together with the seller, where they're going to list it below the average of the comparables. Okay, you got 675 1 day on the market, 799 6 days on the market, and 839 30 days on the market. The price per square foot average is $519 a square foot. Now for your sold properties, you're looking at 2 properties that sold at 630 and one at 725, and you're looking at 671 or 661 as your average sold price. So the property is listed at 695 with the average sold price coming in at 661. So this is a very good comp analysis showing you what the average price would be, what the highest price would be, which is $725, and of course what the lowest price would be, which is $630,000. Now you saw the subject property and you see the listing price of $695. You determine whether it's closer to the average of $661 or it's higher than the average coming in at $695. So if your buyer wants to place an offer on their property and they feel very nicely about the home and it's in nice conditions, you're more than likely placing a full price offer on the property, okay? That means that in this market where there's very little inventory, you have a great shot of actually landing that property. You're seeing a lot of people placing offers above market value or above listed price. So keep in mind that the listing is $695 while the average is $661, okay, for the sold prices. So offering more than $695 may be a better idea for you guys. All right, so this is the comp analysis with Matrix, which is an easy report to generate. Okay, let me go ahead and check on the chat here. I did see the chat light up a little bit, and Connie is sharing some wonderful information with you guys. So if you want, you can download the guide that Connie went ahead and sent you, as well as the links to our YouTube channel and social media platforms. Okay, let's go back, and what we're going to do is we're going to close this report out, and we're going to click on back to results. And this time, if you want to generate a full CMA presentation, you're going to select CMA, which is right here. Okay, so let's select CMA. And remember that we have pages, we have subject, we have cover page, we have comparables, we have map, adjustments, pricing, and then we finish. We will guide you through this in your CMA or your Matrix 301 class. So moving on to pages, these are the pages I am using, which is the cover sheet with the agent photo. I'm also using the summary list. I'm using the list price and sales price chart, a CMA map. I'm using the professional report, price adjustments, pricing recommendation, benefits of using a realtor, and then I also uploaded a flyer into this report called Miami Link to the World. Remember, you can always upload flyers to the lower left where it says Manage Custom Pages, and you can upload your own flyers. So these are the pages I use in my report, and we're gonna now move on to the next one, which is subject. If the subject property is listed, then you can either enter the MLS number here, or you can search for the property right here where it says search for a cross property. If the property is not listed and has not been in the MLS in the last 10 years, then you are going to enter the subject property fields manually. All right, so I'm going to click here just so you guys can see. You would have to enter the address of the property. You would have to enter the city and zip code, bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage, plus upload a photo of the property. Since the property is in the MLS, we're going to fill from the search. So we're going to go to the upper left corner, click there, then click on search for cross property. All right, it is one of these listings, so we're going to go ahead and put in over here 1109. All right, and then we're going to click on results, and you'll see it right away, 1109 Tangier Street. Okay, we're going to select it, and then we're going to click on fill from selected. It was that easy. See, 1109 Tangier Street, 33134, Miami-Dade County. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. All right, and then you're going to see over here that it has the total square feet. All right, we don't want to use total square feet. We want to use the subject property living area square feet. So we're going to go ahead and make adjustments to that right now. And I believe it was somewhere around 1,476 square feet. Okay, so we're going to put it in there. And then you see the photo right here, and then the remarks and your map location. Okay, so the next step is to go to cover page. Make sure that your cover page is reflecting the photo of the property plus your information. You can always edit your info by selecting edit my information. All right. Next up is comparables. We've already chosen our comps, so we really don't need to do anything here. In the event that you needed to remove a comparable, you simply select the comp you want to remove and then click on remove selected to the lower left corner. If you needed to add more comps, you can always click on add from listings, and it'll bring up the search where you start searching for more comparables. Okay. Next is the map. This is going to show you the subject property and where all the comparables are in relation to the subject property on a map. Adjustments, you can make adjustments to any property you'd like. Now remember, adjustments are reserved when you have properties that do not appear the same in size or in bedrooms and bathrooms. In this case, I did choose properties that have equal amounts of bedrooms and bathrooms, so there are no adjustments needed here. And as far as size is concerned, there are no adjustments needed here either, because I'm doing within a 20% difference of the subject property. Now notice how they are all using the total square footage, okay? So what I'm gonna do, folks, is I'm gonna go back over here to subject, okay? And we are going to go back to the 1,800 square feet that it had, okay? Because these properties here are all using the total square feet. So in reality, we want to also stay with the total square feet and use that, okay? Next up is pricing. And here we have a minimum of 630,000 with a high of 839. We have an average of 716,000, and that is for both active and sold listings combined. So looking at this, if you were to list the property, you'd probably be listing somewhere around $700,000 to $720,000 with the expectation of selling somewhere around the upper 600s or even close to $700,000. So you're going to go to the suggested list price section here, and you're going to enter whatever you think you should list the property at. So I'm going to go ahead and put in dollar symbol, and then let's put in 725, comma 000, and that is my suggested list price after looking at this here and seeing what my average is, okay? Then the last thing you're going to do is click on finish, and here is your report. You can email it or you can view it. So let's view it. Let's view the CMA. This is your matrix CMA presentation. It's going to have a cover page with the property photo. All right, here's your cover page with the property photo. And then it says subject property, and then it says prepared by Robert Rodriguez. And here's my information on the lower left corner. Next up, we do have the summary of comparable listings. So here's a summary of the active properties and a summary of the closed properties. List price and sales price chart. You have your map. Now you have your professional report in detail explaining each property you chose as a comparable. Now we have another graph here showing you different colors for each property, and the lowest price comes in at 675. The highest listed price comes in at 839, with the average list price coming in at $771,000. For your sold properties, you're going to see them down here. You have a low of 630, a high of 725, with your average coming in at 661. Here's more graph analysis. And then here, they're telling you the low, what the high is, what the average price is, and what the average price per square foot of all 6 comparables combined. Here's pricing adjustments. If I did make adjustments to the comps, you would see them on the right-hand side. See how the adjustments column is all 0. So the fact is I didn't make any adjustments. Therefore, I do not have an adjusted value. See right here, total adjustment 0. I do not have an adjusted value. If you do make adjustments, you will see adjusted value there. Pricing recommendation, it's a page that says, after analyzing your property, comparable properties on the market now, recent sales, and comparable properties that failed to sell, I conclude that in the current market, your property is most likely to sell for $725,000. So this is your opinion, price opinion based on your study. Then it is going to follow the, or following that page is going to be the benefits of using a realtor, which is an excellent flyer that explains to the customer why your job is so important. And then the last page on my presentation is that flyer that I uploaded from my computer into the presentation, which is a flyer that we have at the Miami Realtors called Your Link to the World, okay? This is the CMA presentation inside of Matrix. I am going to close this presentation out and show you that you can go to My Matrix, My CMAs, and you'll see it in there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and click on When Created, and you're gonna see that today at 1:18 p.m. I created an unnamed CMA. If you wanna name it, you go ahead and click on it, click on Edit, and you can name it now. All right. By going to, we're going to go to start, and then you're going to name it right here. Description. Let's call this CMA Workshop. All right. We named it. We're going to click on finish. We're going to click on save, and watch now. My matrix, my CMAs. Okay, when created to have the most recent one come up, and there it is, CMA Workshop today at 1:27 p.m. Now, if you want to run comps on a condo, it's very simple. We're gonna go search, and instead of using the distance within half a mile, we're actually going to enter the address of the building here. So let's say you wanted to do a comp on a unit at 50 Biscayne Boulevard. Okay, we're gonna come here and then we're gonna put in 50 Biscayne. There are 24 active listings right now. We're gonna also put in the closed sales, and we're looking for 2 bedrooms condos, and there are 12 matches. So when you click on results, these are your 12 matches of 2 bedrooms in 50 Biscayne. You have 380,000. Yeah, that's in the 3rd floor, I believe. Let me see here. Nope, the 30th floor. And then you have 535,000, 575,000, and 575,000. So if you go back to criteria and you tell the system, forget about the active listings, show me all sales in the last 365 days, in this building for 2 bedrooms, you have 8 matches. You click on results, and here are all your sales, 330,000 all the way up to 575. All you would need to do to figure out the average price is select all of them, and then go to Stats, Tabular. By selecting Stats Tabular, you're going to see here the average price is 463,125, with the average price per square foot for a 2-bedroom at 50 Biscayne coming in at $346 a square foot. So if anyone asks you what's the average price per square foot of a 2-bedroom condo at any building, simply do the steps we just did, and that is your average price per square foot in this building for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Let's go back to the results. And then, of course, if you wanted to print the CMA one-line summary, click on print, and you have your CMA one-line summary plus your 3-up comparison. Click on print to PDF. And here we have it in a more presentable way. You have your average sold price coming in at $463, with your average price per square foot coming in at $346. And here are your side-by-sides. All right, this is your comp analysis inside of Matrix for a condo. One last thing I wanted to show you before we move on to iMapp. This is an important report everyone should learn how to do. Go to Market Reports, and we're going to run the Market Conditions Report. And this is an inventory analysis. So 331, no, let's actually go with Tangier Street. So let's go active, closed, and let's do 365 days for closed sale. And then let's put in over here a quarter mile from 1109 Tangier Street. All right, let's click on enter, let's select it, and let's go ahead and generate a report. Okay, so let's click on generate report. And what we're looking at here is going to be an inventory analysis that shows you in the last 3 months, there were 36 total sales within a half-a-mile radius around 1109 Tangier Street. That is 12 sales per month. That is your absorption rate, 12 sales per month. Now you do have over here, total number of active listings right now is 35 active listings. And that leaves you with 2.92%, not percent, 2.92 months of inventory. So a little less than 3 months of inventory is left. That is a seller's market. Anywhere from 0 to 6 months is a seller's market. Over 9 months is considered a buyer's market. And then between 6 and 9 months is more of a balanced market. You can call it average, you can call it balanced, you can call it normal. So it is a seller's market in this area. Homes are selling on average 665. And then you're looking over here at 22 days on the market, and they're selling at 98.23% of the original price. Okay, so they're selling at 98.23%. I think I did a small little mistake, is that I'm going to go back to matrix and make sure that we select single family home. All right, so I included condos, and the reason why I noticed that is when I went to go ahead and take a look at the active price of 170, that's a huge mistake there. So I'm going to rerun this report now using single family homes only. Click on generate. And you're going to see it's even worse. You had 34 sales in the last 3 months. That's 11.3 sales per month with only 14 listings active. That's 1.25 months of inventory. That's an extreme seller's market. There's barely any inventory. Okay. The median price is 680,000, selling in 22 days. The median asking price is 812,000, and they're nearly selling at 100% of the asking price. That is an indication of a super seller's market. All right, so please learn how to run this report for any location. You can run it by a location like I did. You can run it by area, zip code, subdivision name. You can run it by address, or you can run it by city. It is your market conditions report inside of market reports. All right, let's go ahead and move on inside of iMapp. And before we do, folks, let me go ahead and check on the chat. So I see a question there, Madeline. This is just for you to know, or not for the CMA. This is an excellent option, as Connie was saying, for you to present. Almost every appraiser runs this kind of a report. When you look at an appraisal, they will have a market conditions report. So you should also include this with your buyers and sellers so they understand the market and they see what is actually going on. But every appraisal report that it gets done, you will see this report inside of that appraisal. Okay. All right, folks, let's go ahead and click on iMapp, and that's going to open up iMapp. iMapp can be found right here, and then we're going to click here, and that's iMapp. Okay. So in iMapp, we do have individual classes that shows you how to use iMapp. We're going to run a tax search for Miami-Dade County. We often refer to iMapp as the easiest CMA you can run, and it is very true. You can basically run a CMA in less than a minute if you know what you're doing. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and select once again 1109 Tangier Street. All right, I'm picking on this property right now, and we're gonna select Start Search. All right, we're gonna click on Start Search, and it kicked me out. So let's do this again. Okay, notice I was in the foreclosure search, so back to the tax search, and let's do this one more time. Let's go ahead and select 1109 Tangier Street, and here's your property. Okay. To the right-hand side, you're gonna select Find Comparables, but before you do, all right, get used to this. You have the living area at 1,472 with the total area of 1,808. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and you do have 5,000 square foot lot. So let's go ahead and select Find Comparables. All right, and what do we have here? We have plenty of comparables that we can choose from. Notice number 11 is on the north end of Southwest 8th Street. That is not Coral Gables. So you're gonna remove number 11. All right, we're gonna remove number 11 right here. and go back to your map and notice how all the comparables now are on the correct side of Coral Gables. You're looking at 437,000 for low and $1,035,000 for a high and $660,200 as an average. Going back to the average we got in Matrix of $661,000, this is actually a very valid comparable. That's two programs that reached the same number. All right. Now, you're always going to run your comps based on 20% difference in lot size, 20% difference in living area, located within half a mile. However, you have 1 mile up to 5 miles. You also have subdivision, so you can do the same subdivision, zip code, and county. Let's try the same subdivision and click on update criteria. What happens when we do the same subdivision? All of them are gone. So we didn't really get any comps in the same subdivision. So we're going to go back to half a mile and then click on update criteria. To the right of the location, you have the months. So you can go back 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2, 3, 5 years back. So we're going to stick to 6 months and make sure to always select set as default. Okay, so set as default. And once again, you see 11 over here. All right, you see this year 643,000. We're going to go ahead and remove number 11 that's not in Coral Gables, and that's going to raise our average to 660,000 by removing the property that's not in Coral Gables. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you another property. All right, inside of iMapp, we're going to go ahead and put in over here 1020 Obispo Avenue, which is a property that I like to use a lot in my examples. All right, so we're going to put in 1020 Obispo Avenue, click on Start Search, and we're going to click on Find Comparables. All right, so here we have a property that has 2 comps right on Obispo Avenue, and it's from $1,144,000 to $1,196,000 with an average of $1,070,000. If you want more comps, then you may want to do this. Sold within the last year, click on Update Criteria, and we have now 2 comps. All right, so we don't have any more comparables. If you go out 1 mile, then you may have more comps. Let's just check and see. And we do have more comparables. I can do this now, go back to 6 months within 1 mile. We are still inside of Coral Gables, right? And we're still looking at, well, notice here we did have 514,000. There is a property here we should not be using, which is this one here. So let's remove that. And now you're looking at 990,000 for a minimum. You're looking at 1,346,000 for a high, and you're looking at an average of 1,169,000, and that is using these 4 comps that you see in the area. So whether we keep only these 2 or add 2 more, we're still right in the same range as we were before. Okay, so watch. If I 1,169,000, if I remove and I go back to half a mile and I click on update criteria, you're still looking at an average of 1,170,000. Before we were at 1,169,000. So this is an indication that this is the price of the subject property based on the market. Of course, there are other factors that determine prices on a property. It's conditions. So we don't know the conditions of 1020 Obispo Avenue. We would actually have to go check it out. But based on the market, that is the market value for the property, okay? On iMapp, I'm gonna run a condo comp so you guys can see. Let me go ahead and put in here the address, 500 Brickell Avenue, which is a building in Brickell. And then we're going to go ahead and select any unit. Let's go ahead and select unit. These are all 1 bedrooms here. All right, let's select here this one, unit 3800. Okay, unit 3800 is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 800 square foot condo. Okay, We're going to select find comparables on the right-hand side. And then this is the most important part of the comp in iMapp, is that you eliminate all the other buildings around the area and stay within this building right here. In order to do that, you're going to open the location here and you're going to go with same subdivision and select update criteria. That is going to narrow your results to that particular building, giving you 4 comparables. So for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 800 square foot condo in this area, you're looking at $316,000 for an average, between 297 and 338 with an average of 316. Always go with the estimated range based on price per square foot. Don't go with the estimated range based on value ratio, because that is based on assessed values, and you actually want to go the price per square feet of the sales. So you can understand what this means. You have a low price per square foot of 369. Multiply 369 times 806 and you get $297,000. Multiply the high of 420 times the 806, you get a high of $429,500. And then you get the average price per square foot of $392.11. When you multiply it times the subject property square footage of 806, you get an average of $316,000. So that is your true market analysis on iMapp, with a low of 297, a high of 338, with and an average of $316,000. Again, folks, iMapp is the quickest way for us to run valuations. You can go there, and if you master the program in less than a minute, you can go ahead and save a CMA as a PDF or email it to a customer to the right-hand side. It is not, however, a presentable CMA. What you see here is what you're emailing, so it's not like a full presentation. It's one page that tells them the value of the property. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to RPR, which is an amazing tool. Realtors Property Resource has been updated. So those of you that have been using RPR for a very long time, you will notice a difference next time you log into RPR, or perhaps you've logged into RPR in the last month and you've already noticed the difference. Those of you new to RPR, we do have classes for you that teach you everything you want to know about RPR on the residential side and also on the commercial side. So please look on your calendars, join us for an RPR class, or go to YouTube and look for the RPR training inside of the Miami Trainers YouTube channel. We are going to place here the address, which is 1109 Tangier Street. So I cheated. I had already looked at the property before to prepare for the class. So let me go ahead and select the property, and it's going to take us to 1109 Tangier Street. Whether the property is on the market or off the market, you're able to run a comp analysis inside of RPR. RPR is public records. You will have information of properties nationwide from public records. So whether you're looking at property in South Florida or in Seattle, Washington, you can find properties inside of RPR. All right. So we have here 1109 Tangier Street. You're going to notice underneath the photos that the list price is $695,000 with an RVM coming in at 606. Now, what is an RVM? You're going to click on that price and it's going to tell you. All right. The RVM is known as a Realtors valuation model. And it says that anywhere from 552 to 661 is your RVM with an average of 606. Do not take this as your comp analysis. This is simply an estimated price of $606,000. You have your examples that were used down below that shows you what the, that ultimately give you $606,000 as your estimated value. So let's close that out. And what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the top and we're going to select CMA. All right. We will take you through all elements of RPR during the RPR class. Today is more about comps and how to choose them. So let's select CMA. And we are always going to run the comp analysis, the comparative analysis. Never run the sales comparison analysis. That's more for appraisers. So select the comparative analysis, and then you have 5 steps to running your comps. Step number 1, confirm the facts of your home. Click on confirm facts. Notice how we do have now the reduced size of the property at 1472, which is the correct living area. All right, so there is no difference, no changes we need to make. So just go to the bottom and click on confirm facts and close. All right, so while we wait for this, all right, now we have find comps. That's step number 2. So let's click on find comps. All right, so here we have active, pending, closed, single family home. You're gonna go down and you're gonna see that we're gonna put in a 2-bedroom minimum and a 2-bedroom max, a 2-bathroom minimum and a 2-bedroom or a 2-bathroom max. You're gonna select lot size, so we make sure that we stay within this range, and we're gonna stay within this living area range as well. Okay, let's go ahead and click on search and take a look at the subject property right here and all the comparables that showed up in and around the subject property. Now you can draw a shape if you like right here. You got box, radius, or polygon. Let me just go ahead and give you an example. If I were to draw a radius, I can pull out a radius of 1/2 mile, release it, and then click on save or click on search in this area. You want to select search in this area, okay? Not save. You want to select search in this area. And that's going to leave you with those comparables underneath, right? You can draw, again, a radius, a rectangular shape, or a polygon. You can also use geography, which is come over here and select micro neighborhood. And this is the micro neighborhood known as Granada Terrace, or Granada Terrace in Coral Gables. You can also go with the minor neighborhood, or macro neighborhood, or intermediate neighborhood. Intermediate neighborhood would be Granada and Coral Gables, okay? And these would be your comps in the area. So I'm going to draw, again, a shape. We're going to draw a radius around that subject property of 0.50, and then click on search in this area. Okay, here are my 3 comps that I have available. Select one, select the other, and then go ahead and select the other. So we're between 662 and 704. Okay. Do we have any active listings? We do. Okay. We have active listings down here, and that's pending. That is active. And that's active right there. I want you guys to notice that I skipped over this one here, coming in at $548 a square foot. All right, notice the high end here of 730. What happens if I select the $548 a square foot? Look at this, 807. So I skipped right over it. I do not want to use it because that's an active listing that we just don't know if it's going to close at that price. We select this one, and we're pretty much tied into 662, 730, update valuation and close. And here's what we have, folks. We have an average of $699,000. So remember Matrix, 661. Remember iMapp, 670. And now look at RPR, $699,000. It is listed at $695,000. So you ask why the difference? It's simple. Click on edit, okay? Look at your comps and see which ones, all right, are going to give you the highest rating. So for example, these two active listings right here at 496 a square foot and 484 a square foot is raising the value of my comp analysis. If I remove these two, all right, we'll start with 496. Did that go down? Yes, it did. If I remove this one at 484 square foot, did it go down again? Yes, it did. So now when I click on update valuation and close, you're looking at a $688,000 average. So it's about which comps you use in each program. So if you're using 3 comps in Matrix, make sure you use 3 comps in RPR. If you're using 6 comps in Matrix, make sure you're using 6 comps in RPR, and they have to be the same properties, all right? So that's why you have a difference in price, because you're not always going to use the same properties in your comp analysis. So in order for you to have the same price in all 3 platforms, you must use the same properties. So here we have $688,000 with a low of 662 and a high of 704. We have a very tight range and a very nice average. We're gonna keep it, all right? At any time, you can click on edit and go look for more comparables, or you can remove some of the comps. Number 3 allows you to adjust your comps. So you can click on adjust comps and come here and say, this comparable is in worse conditions than my subject property. So you can come here and use the little sliding bar and reduce the amount of this comparable, therefore increasing the amount to your subject property. The same thing goes. If you think this property is in better conditions than the subject property, then you say this is in better conditions, and now you're reducing the price of your subject property. So very important to use this if you can confirm that the prices of these properties, not the property prices, but that the properties themselves are in better or worse conditions than your subject property. All right, let's go ahead and close that out. Number 4 allows you to recommend a price. So we've already figured that 688 is my average, with 703 being the high. Let's go ahead and recommend 695. Since it is listed at 695, I'm going to give this to my customer and let them know that my opinion is that we should offer 695 on the property, okay? Or we should list it at 695. And then go here and click on create report. You're always going to run the seller's report, so make sure you click on seller's report. You can open up here the seller's report and make sure that you guys know how to remove some of the elements, because folks, if you don't remove some of these elements, it is approximately 81 pages. So what I've done is I've removed most of the elements of this report, cutting my pages down to about 15 pages. All right, so take a look. You're going to remove the listing price if you want to. I'm not. Let's go ahead and keep it. Let's remove the estimated value change. Let's remove the extended home facts, the refined value, the property photos, historical photos, property history, the assessed value, the mortgage records. Let's remove the sales and financing activity, the market activity, the market health charts and comparisons. Let's go ahead and remove the market activity for active, pending, sold, distressed, and expired listings. So all 5 of these elements you want to remove from your report. You also want to remove the seller proceeds and the about RPR and our data. You want to make sure you're using at least 8 properties for your market activity, and then you're going to include both the side-by-side comparisons and the individual property pages. So we're going to include both. You're going to place a check mark where it says include my notes, and we're going to suppress the estimated value, suppress the estimated value for the comparables, and we're going to suppress the refined value for the subject property. Once you're finished, you're going to go down and you're going to select Run Report, or you can email it to someone. We do have this recorded inside of our YouTube channel, folks, under the new RPR class. So if you failed to copy down what pages you want to include, no worries. You can always go to YouTube and review our RPR training, or simply wait for me to upload today's training in YouTube, and you will be able to review exactly what pages I used for this report. Okay. One thing I want to go back and mention is that you can always go back to the property like this here, and you can always adjust your comp. All right, so you can always come here and you can always adjust your comp based on home improvements. And that's going to be by using the refined value. So I got to wait for this because the computer's a little slow. So let's wait. So you see right here, refined value. You can always come here, click on refined value, and you can improve the home based on size or bedrooms and bathrooms or home improvements. So let's say you wanted to do a major kitchen remodel mid-range. Major kitchen remodel mid-range. And in January of this year, we completed the remodel and it cost us $25,000. All right, we spent $25,000. You click on add and it gives you an additional value of $16,000 for the kitchen remodel. That's going to add an additional $16,000 of value to your property. Okay. Remember, this is the estimated value originally that we had with the property. So you would be adding $16,000 on top of the CMA value, which is going to be right here. All right. It's going to be right here. The 688, you would be adding an additional $12,000. Okay. So that's refined value. You're able to refine value of the property based on home improvements. All kinds of home improvements, bathrooms, kitchens, garage, roof, windows. You're also able to refine the value based on needed improvements. So let's say you need a new roof. You can put in here needs a new roof, and then you will deduct value from the property by putting in the total cost of the new roof. Okay. You can always reset this by clicking on reset, and then it's back to zero. So let's take a look at the report, which is now ready. You can always click on reports right here and you'll see that the report is now ready. All right, this is the CMA Sellers Report inside of RPR. It has the cover page, 1109 Tangier Street. All right, it's got my branding. All right, we have here the list price and your comp analysis is $695. We also have here the map and then the side-by-side comparisons. And here is 1208 San Miguel Avenue, okay? And it's sold for $664. You have over here the 921 Ortega Avenue, that's sold for $630. Then you have this property pending at $699. You got this property for sale at $639. And then you have a market activity report for $33134. And then very important to see here that the median price is actually lower at $634. Your average ended up being $688 with my recommended price of $695. This is your seller's report inside of RPR. In my opinion, the most complete report you can get out of the three that we covered today: Matrix, iMapp, and RPR. However, Matrix is your MLS. iMapp offers you a very quick way to run an analysis, and RPR offers you the most complete report that you can generate using the three programs we covered today. This is going to wrap up our class for today. I hope you truly enjoyed our presentation. If you have any questions, you can always email us, and we are trainers@miamire.com. Again, that's trainers@miamire.com. Connie, thank you so much for joining us in the chat today and sharing all of the flyers and all of the information you did with our attendees. And folks, if you don't have any other questions, I want to wish you a great rest of your afternoon. As always, thank you for being Miami members, and we will see you in our next training. Have a great day, everyone.